Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Welcome to the next lesson on writing. This week you will learn on problem solution essay. Before we begin, here are the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to brainstorm for ideas for expository essays. Next, they should be able to map out ideas for expository essays. And then they should be able to write an effective introductory paragraph using appropriate introductory patterns. Next, they should be able to write a clear thesis statement, and then they should be able to write a clear topic sentence for each supporting paragraph, and then they should be able to write sufficient and relevant supporting details, and lastly they should be able to maintain a clear and narrow focus to support the topic. For problem solution essays, there are two types of essay structures. The first one is the block structure. First paragraph is the introduction, where you need to provide a situation given to you in the questions, and don't forget to write your thesis statement. Next, as you go down to body paragraph 1, you will need to mention, let's say, two problems. Okay, so this is the first problem, and then the second problem. And then in the second paragraph of your body paragraph, you need to write your transition sentence to show the transition between problems and also solutions. In the last paragraph for your body paragraph, you need to provide with two solutions since you mentioned there are two problems earlier. And then lastly, your concluding paragraph, you need to restate your thesis statement, and here you can provide with some kind of hopes, suggestions or recommendations. So this is all about block structure. Next is the chain structure that you used to during previous lesson for cause effect essay. I hope that you still remember. So it's going to be the same, where you need to have the introduction, and then you need to state or write the situation given to you in the questions, and then don't forget to state or to write your thesis statement. So for problem solution essay, you need to write the problems in your thesis statement. Next is the body paragraph 1. You need to organize your contents in such a way that you write the first problem, and then you will need to provide the solution to the first problem. And the same goes to the second paragraph here, and then in the third body paragraph. So you need to mention the problem, the second problem, and then the solution to the second problem. And then in the third body paragraph, you need to mention the third problem, and then to provide the third solution. Lastly, the concluding paragraph. So here, once again, you need to restate your thesis statement, and then you can provide with some kind of hopes or suggestions or maybe recommendations to the situation that you have mentioned earlier. So this is all about chain structure. Now here we go to the sample essay, and we will follow the chain structure. And the topic is, in the last 20 years, there have been significant developments in the field of information technology (IT), for example, the World Wide Web and communication by email. However, these developments in IT are likely to have more negative effects than positive in the future. So remember, this is the length for your essay. And then when you are going to write your essay, you need to give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own experience or knowledge. Now, here is the introductory paragraph, and this is the introduction. The last 2 decades have seen enormous changes in the way people's lives are affected by information technology, with many advances in this field. However, while these technological advances have brought many benefits to the world, it can be argued that these developments in information technology will result in more negative impacts than positive. The negative impacts are people would easily transfer the irrelevant information, the increments of anti-social among workers, and the speedy access to the inappropriate website. So the first sentence is your opening statement, and then followed by the second sentence for your opening statement, and okay, this is your thesis statements. So now we are moving on to body paragraph, and this is your first body paragraph. To begin, email has made communication, especially abroad, much simpler and faster, resulting in numerous benefits for commerce and business. For example, people can access news, medical advice, online education courses, and much more via the internet. It is evident that these improvements have made life far easier and more convenient for large numbers of people and will continue to do so for decades to come. However, due to the excitement of sending information, some people had shared the irrelevant information and somewhat had made people believe the unreliable information as the true ones. Therefore, the users need to analyze the information received, and at the same time, the website's authority needs to block this illegal information, which definitely harm the users. So as you notice here, the first sentence, the second sentence, for example, and then this third sentence can be considered as the opening statements for your topic sentence 1. All right, and then this is the problem that I want to mention here. You can also mention the problem earlier than this, but in this case, I want to mention the problem here, and then I had provided two solutions for the problem mentioned earlier. The first solution to the problem is the users need to analyze the information received. So this is the first solution, and followed by the second solution, whereby the website's authority needs to block this illegal information. You can also use these solutions as part of your concluding sentence. Alright, moving on to the second body paragraph. Furthermore, the World Wide Web means that information on every conceivable subject is now available to us. In relation to this, the effects of this new technology have also affected the social interaction among people. For example, many people feel that the widespread use of email is destroying traditional forms of communication such as letter writing, telephone, and face-to-face conversation. This could result in a decline in people's basic ability to socialize and interact with each other on a day-to-day basis. Hence, for sometimes, people need to consider on verbal communication depends on the business or situation which requires them to do so. So the same goes here. The first sentence, furthermore, and then in relation to this, and then for example here, these are the opening statements for second topic sentence. And okay, the problem that I want to mention once again the problem right in the middle of the paragraph. And then starting from hence, for sometimes people need to consider on verbal communication. This is my solution to the problem that I had mentioned earlier. And as I said before, you can assume that or you can use this solution as part of your concluding sentence. Alright, so now we are at the third body paragraph. In addition, the large size of the web has meant that it is nearly impossible to regulate and control. This has led to many concerns regarding children accessing unsuitable websites and the virus's threat. Unfortunately, these kind of problems might even get worse in the future, and it is almost unbearable to restrain people from accessing inappropriate websites. Regardless of whether it will harm children or adults, the authority needs to at least block the contents of the website until more regulated systems are set up. Okay, so the same goes here. The first sentence starting from in addition followed by this has led to, and then part of these two sentences unfortunately until the future here. So these three sentences are meant to give kind of information to the third topic sentence. And then this is where that I want to mention the problem. It is almost unbearable to restrain people from accessing inappropriate website. This is the problem. And then followed by the solutions that I think are appropriate to be given to the problem that I had mentioned earlier. And again, you can assume that the solutions given here are part of your concluding sentence. So now we have reached the conclusion for the problem solution essay, and this is the conclusion. In conclusion, developments in information technology have brought many benefits, yet developments relating to new technology are likely to produce many negative effects in the future that must be addressed if we are to avoid damaging impacts on individuals and society. It is hoped that in future people would be keen enough as to become the internet user due to the rapid changes in information technology shall give them beneficial rather than damaging the users. So starting from in conclusion until individuals and society, this is how you can restate your thesis statement. And starting from, it is hoped that in future until beneficial rather than damaging the users. So these are the hopes that you can give based on the problems and the solutions that you have written earlier in body paragraphs. Alright, so here is the outline, and as you learn, you need to follow the chain structure for your essay outline. So when you start writing your essay, you are going to start writing your introductory paragraph, and then in the introduction, you need to write 2 sentences for your opening statements, and then followed by the thesis statement. And as you go next to body paragraph, in the first body paragraph, you need to write the first problem, followed by the first solution, and then the second solution. In the second body paragraph, you need to write the second problem, followed by the first solution, and then the second solution. And lastly, in the third body paragraph, you need to write the third problem, followed by the first solution and then the second solution. So once you reach the concluding paragraph in your conclusion, don't forget to restate your thesis statement, and then don't forget to give some kind of hopes or any suggestions or maybe recommendations based on the problem that you have discussed and then the solution that you have provided in the body paragraphs. Before we end our lesson today, and right after watching this video, it is time for a quick quiz to check your understanding of the lesson you have learned today. So first thing first, you need to use your phone and scan the QR code. The code will bring you directly to the Google form, and then you need to follow the instructions given in the Google form, and finally you need to answer all questions. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. I will see you again in the next lesson.